Shad, we have a call. We have a question now from a caller, Max out of Brentwood, California, I believe. Max, go ahead.
Hi. I'm wondering, I've heard a lot of talk about veterans experiencing something called invisible wounds. I was wondering if you could maybe explain that a little bit.
Well, invisible wounds are really what we're talking about here, post-traumatic stress. You don't see isolation in someone. I mean, a guy can be sitting on a park bench waiting for a bus, could be sitting on a park bench for 3 months waiting to find himself. The intrusive thoughts, you could be sitting there, you can't see what someone's thinking, but someone could be sitting there thinking that you're possibly the enemy. We've seen already a lot of horrible situations happen with families where the individual even saw family members in a startle reaction take action on them as if they were the enemy. These are the invisible wounds, the irritability that you try to hold on, the fact that you have to, many of them sit on their hands and sweat and just try to wait this out like you would a fever. And it's all in the brain. The brain's been altered, and it takes time for that to realign. And it really realigns for sure if they get into treatment. But they're young, they don't know how to reach out, and they have a lot of things working against them. And that's why we're working so hard to put as many bus stops, so to speak, with a counselor there saying, "Oh, hey, I'm Jan. I've been there. I know what's going on. Let's talk," you know.
Okay.
When you start talking the language, when he knows you talk the language, like our counselors are veterans, 90% of them, they know the lingo, they start opening up.
Yeah.
It's just like if you saw the documentary with Dominique. You know, as soon as he got into that group, Step Up for Vets, or Vets for Vets, whatever it was, he really started feeling like he could come home, and that's the process. And but yeah, it's invisible wounds on these men. I'm sure Jan can talk about that as well as anybody.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your question, Max, and stay tuned in.
Will do.
And before we let you go today, Shad, we want to be sure to ask you, what are some things that communities and individuals can do to kind of buffer the impact of reintegration like this for veterans around them?
Well, I think the first thing they can do is to be aware, to watch shows like this. I think this is tremendous, the documentary. I hope that gets out. I'm involved in about 5 documentaries now that'll be out this fall. We just screened one at the House Veterans Affairs a week ago today in Congress, and it really opened a lot of eyes. We just need to be present. The families need to be present. As Mary said, be patient, listen. The veterans need to be aware of the services out there. We're trying more and more to get our PSAs out. There are other veteran service organizations out there, IVA out of New York, Paul Rykoff's group. There are a lot of things where they can join up and feel a part of a unit. It's never going to feel like it did in combat, I'll tell you that. Yeah. But you can get close, and there's a lot more available today. Look at what we're doing right now. This is just tremendous. This is therapeutic. And you know, your era, Jan, they're all internet savvy. I mean, it's unbelievable. And this is the way to go. This may be the show. This may be the vehicle that we're looking at. You laugh, but it could be very well.
Well, we hope so. If we keep having people like yourself on here, I think we can make a lot of change. Shad,
I'll be here anytime, and give them our toll-free number, 888-777-4443, or go to nvf.com. We're there. Okay. We're there for every veteran family member. It doesn't just have to be the veteran, because a lot of times the veteran doesn't come in for years.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Shad. We want to send them to our solutions page where we have all the information for National Veterans Foundation. And we also want to thank you for your service and dedicating your life to the work that you've done for the last 30 years. It's hard to say
I'm
how
honored,
many lives you've impacted.
I want to thank you for your service, Jan, and for Dominique's, if he's listening. God bless him. And it's interesting that he's working for a program that I started and authored and founded under Jimmy Carter, going into its 29th year, and he's now, it's a beautiful story. Great work.
Yeah, well, we'll get into more of that next week, Shad. Thanks again for your time here, and we'll let you get back to your vets.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
You got it.
Like we mentioned before, be sure to check out our solutions page where Shad's organization, National Veterans Foundation, can be found there, one of the top links. And also be sure to sign up for updates on our site where we can send you weekly videos and content of upcoming shows here on In Their Boots. When we come back next week, we're going to be taking a look at the second chapter in Dominique's story, A hero's welcome, and we're going to show you a clip from that now.
I've always been proud of my son, but I'm encouraged that he's able to experience adversarial growth.
A lot's been happening since I've been back. Initially, everything wasn't going the best, but I think I've done a decent job of recovering. This right here is like my medication. I come here and get my therapy from you all. You all are my favorite people in the world, whether you know it or not.
If you think the stories we tell here and the issues that are raised deserve a wider audience, be sure to send video clips from the show here onto your local media. That means radio stations, television stations, and local cable access. And if you do that, if you take action and help get more eyes on the message that we send here, be sure to send us an email and let us know. And we'll see you back here next Wednesday for another live episode of In Their Boots. Until then, take care.